Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Clone Commander Bacara from Revenge of the Sith. Now, this is the second figure in the Revenge of the Sith theme. The first one was Darth Sidious in, the red robes. We're getting 3 more of these, actually, very, very soon with Lieutenant Gale and Anakin and Obi-Wan. Can't wait for them. I honestly can't wait for the rest of them. I'm probably just going to keep going. I have the other figure here, so I'm going to have all of them. But there is one thing I'm missing, which is a Ki-Adi-Mundi. Got to track me down one of them. But this is Clone Commander Bacara, and he is a clone trooper. He's in episode 3 for, I think 0.5 seconds. And then he's in the Clone Wars for, the combined, 30 seconds of screen time, if that. Yeah, he's not up to much. He's kind of a non-character. Kind of like some other clones, he's a little bit more based on his design than anything. We don't really, I don't think, unless there's book knowledge of this guy or anything, he's not up to much. Genuinely. Design-wise, he actually has no paint on his armor. Weirdly enough, not a single drop on his actual armor. While he does have some coloration with the shoulder pauldron and the comma, that's it. He actually doesn't have any paint. There is a stripe up here on this armor plate, but that's part of the pauldron. So, genuinely, he's built like a regular, shiny clone trooper. That's what he's built like. Now, he doesn't serve with these guys. He serves with the Galactic Marines, so with that, he's a little bit more unique. But there is actually one more thing that's a little unique about him, which is his back plate. It's different, very different actually, with an extra thermal detonator tube and some pouches. That's very much different from the regular guy here. Which, that's nice that he has a new part to him, but other than that, I'm pretty sure he's basically just a regular 3.0 clone. That's it. He's a 3.0 clone. No removable helmet or anything like that, although the helmet does look pretty good, except for the big complaint of this figure. The visor. The visor's a little too rounded. It doesn't go how it should. Bringing back in this clone here, as you can see, it's a bit too rounded and not really sharp at the ends, which looks a little strange, but again, maybe you could say it's just where it's a different helmet design. This is the more heavy clone helmet design. Clearly, he's a more kind of demolition type of clone, heavy clone, something like that, where he does have the whole backplate thing going on there. I mean, he still looks pretty cool, honestly. I mean, I still like the design, but there is one other issue with this guy, which is the bleed from the skirt. Now, he has as you probably noticed, a fabric comma. Typically, as of late, so after the original black box run of Clone Troopers, so out of all of the other clones I own with commas, there's only 2 that have fabric ones, and that is the Captain Rex and the Commander Wolf. Those are the only 2, and they're old clones. They're the older style of clones. He's the first new clone to have a soft goods comma, but it came with an issue, which is it would bleed onto the armor. Now, you can't see it too well on mine at all. It is there. You can kind of see it on this one, maybe, right at the tip of my thumb there. There's a bit of red, but honestly, you're not going to notice it if yours does have it, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? It's just a little bit of paint bleed, or fabric, or dye bleed, I guess. It's dye that does it. That's really it. You're not going to really notice it, because it's probably going to be covered by the comma anyway. It's a non-issue. The helmet issue, that's a bit more, the visor is wrong. It is a wrong visor. Because technically, this is just a regular clone helmet with some extra armored parts on it for the most part. At least I think the helmet, the top of the helmet is very different. So maybe it is an outright different clone helmet, but, it is what it is. He comes with 2 accessories, the DC-15-17 carbine, I'm forgetting them, and just the regular one as well. So the 2 basic clone guns that you get with pretty much every clone figure, well, that's not a commander with pistols, because typically when they have those DC pistols, oh boy, they don't get another accessory, but they usually get a removable helmet. That's the weird part. It's always a weird trade-off. But, I mean, overall, it's not that bad. And what about the articulation? Well, if you own a 3.0 clone, you kind of know what you're expecting here. We have a ball joint in the head, forward and back. Does have a butterfly, outward, an elbow joint, a swivel, a rotation at the wrist, a in and out movement there, up and down at the other one. We then have a waist, but it's a bit more restrictive because he has this pauldron assembly with the straps. The straps kind of restrict it, so it's kind of not going too good. But, you know, it can move pretty alright. Forward and back, outward, a knee joint, which is a little bit good. And he does have a foot tilt in upward and downward, which is kind of loose and not tight like a lot of other clones I own. So he's pretty standard. It's mostly just his tolerances. And the tolerances, for the most part, are, you know, actually good. I don't mind it, because a lot of my other clones, I don't think this guy really has. The tolerances on bacara are pretty good. The one thing I note is the foot tolerance. A lot of the time, the feet are a little harder to move. Bacara has pretty easy feet to move up and down, so that's kind of good. But other than that, that's his accessories, that's his articulation, and that's him. So let's get to the final thoughts here. He's cool. I mean, I kind of wish I had Ki-Adi-Mundi, which I'm probably going to get now, honestly, that I don't have. You know, it's a little odd just having him. There's no Galactic Marines yet, so what are you going to do? Like, I literally have to go track down Ki-Adi-Mundi just to have a companion piece for him. But ultimately, he's alright. This guy is often on clearance. He's one of those guys that just because of those couple issues I mentioned, people don't tend to like him that much. He's good. He's just a clone. He's a basic clone. He's literally this guy with a different head and some extra parts. That's it. So if you do like the typical clone mold, or you're just collecting clones, I mean, I don't think you're going to be too mad at him. But the thing is, how often are you going to get Commander Bacara? I've literally had 2 Commander Bacaras in my life, which is really weird. Really weird. It would be 3 if the Lego Clone Turbo Tank was actually well priced, but that's another thing. But it is weird that in this year, I'm just going to mention that with that whole little Lego thing I mentioned there, that this guy has had 2 things this year. He had this, and then the Lego minifigure. This random guy that I don't think has a speaking line at all. He, like I said, barely in the movie, barely in the Clone Wars. He's just a cool-looking guy. He's the epitome of cool-looking guy in the background that does nothing except shoot Ki-Adi-Mundi to death. That's it. That's all he does. Good job. You killed one of those bad Jedi. Good job, buddy. But that's about it for Bacara. He's fine. He's a 3 out of 5. The figure really doesn't have flaws outside of the bleed from the skirt and the visor. It's kind of hard to sit there and be like, there's so much negative, but I've already covered this mold a couple times, the 3.0 version clone, and it's like, you know what you're getting with a clone trooper at this point. It's mostly just on the new parts, which kind of fail. Except the pauldron. I actually really do like the pauldron. It's really good. But that is essentially it for Bacara. This has been my review. This has been Eilt Elite signing out.